Today, we explore the mysterious legacy and hidden past of the Knights Templar. Unexpected details in their secret operations, ceremonies, and mysterious disappearances can be gained from discovered texts. By exposing the truths hidden behind the legends, this investigation reveals the Templars' significant impact on medieval civilization, as well as their continuing influence on today's society. The work of literature tries to explain the mystery surrounding one of the most intriguing and mysterious organizations in history through academic study and historical storytelling. Number 1. The hidden treasure. It is stated that the Templar Knights, who are wrapped in mystery and tradition, kept the greatest secrets of their era. Legends still exist about their hidden treasures, which include the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. They used oaths and arcane rituals in their secretive initiation procedures. Large subterranean tunnels and rooms were constructed by the Templars, who used them to conceal their money and hold secret meetings. With their ancient esoteric understanding, the Templars experimented with astrology and alchemy. They used complex ciphers and codes to communicate, some of which are still unbreakable today. They would have considered themselves to be modern Knights of the Round Table, having been influenced by the legends surrounding King Arthur. They laid the foundation for modern finance by creating the first banking system. The mysterious Black Madonna was revered by the Templars, who were also said to be associated with the Hashashin, a famous assassination gang from the Middle East. In addition to keeping a secret sea fleet for covert operations, they kept banned texts that contradicted the doctrines of the mainstream church. Numerous Templar burials have cryptic symbols that may have deeper significance. Some Templars went to Scotland after being persecuted, which may have had an impact on the establishment of Freemasonry. They were in charge of several sacred artifacts that were thought to have magical abilities. Commanderies of the Lost Templars lie in hiding in isolated places, waiting to be found. They kept their advanced medical knowledge hidden from the public. The Templars' mystique was increased when the Shinong parchment was discovered, which proved that in 1308, Pope Clement V cleared them of blasphemy. Later uprisings were influenced by tales of their commitment to vengeance. In order to safeguard their trade secrets, the Templars also included esoteric symbolism and holy geometry in their architectural designs. Number 2. Secret ritual. Shocking new information about the secretive order surfaced during the Templar trials. Members told of strange initiation rituals in which newcomers would kiss older members inappropriately, participate in filthy behavior like spitting and stepping on the cross, and even reject Jesus' divinity. These outrageous charges, which are detailed in the trial depositions, have garnered a lot of attention over the years. But the most shocking allegation was the Templars' devotion to a bearded, scary head. It was characterized as both a silver and a gold relic. Some said it had 4 feet, while others stated it had 2 heads. It was sometimes shown as an animal's head or a two-faced skull, and it was said to be the preserved head of the first Templar Grandmaster, Hugh de Paynes. Some even brought up the weird idol known as Baphomet. It's possible that the name Baphomet was an incorrect pronunciation of Muhammad, which raises the possibility that the Templars converted to Islam in secret. The Islamic civilization was significantly more developed than Western Europe in the 12th century. The Templars may have incorporated these elements into their own worldview after being exposed to this superior civilization in the Holy Land. Number 3. Underground tunnels. Archaeologists have discovered fresh proof of the influence of the Knights Templar for the first time in 8 centuries. The legendary warrior monks built treasure tunnels in Israel that led to a treasure tower where their gold was transported. Under the direction of American archaeologist Dr. Albert Lynn, the dig in Acre turned up traces of their magnificent headquarters. Dr. Lynn declared, "I'm in Israel looking for the Knights Templar." Legends abound about these warrior monks and their gold. The Knights Templar fought for God, wealth, and glory throughout the Crusades. Their command center, and probably their wealth, are located somewhere in the modern town of Acre. Dr. Lynn's team used LiDAR technology to scan a portion of the harbor of Acre and discovered a fortification that was formerly used in the Third Crusade but is now hidden beneath a parking lot. The enormous strongholds which once towered over the shore 800 years ago have been carefully restored via a virtual reality program. The discovery of the tunnels will help historians piece together the movement movements of the Knights Templar, said Dr. Lin. He thinks the Templars' gold may have been last found in the treasure tower. The subterranean passageways that wind beneath the cities reveal mysteries that remain undiscovered. The mystery surrounding the Templars, their death, and the wealth they guarded is further illuminated by this enormous discovery. Number 4. Mystical knowledge. It is clear that the Templars developed a cosmology that could be described as evolving. Their initial foundations were in the biblical readings, but as their status and authority grew, so did their quest for knowledge. As their distance from the Church of Rome increased, they became intensely interested in a wide range of cosmological research. It's possible that the Templars explored and adopted a variety of prehistoric cosmologies, a move that probably alarmed the Church and the nobles of Europe. Many saw this expansion of intellectual boundaries as a danger. There is a widely held belief that the knowledge that the Templars acquired was their greatest asset. Ultimately, as they say, knowledge is power. Their material wealth and collection of intellect made them mysterious and powerful characters in medieval Europe. Not only did their unusual ideas and covert studies set them apart, but they also created conjecture about the actual scope of their knowledge and the secrets they were hiding. Number 5. Codex and ciphers. Pigpen cipher, a cryptic relic known as Masonic cipher, was antiquated code, decorated with symbols arranged in an intriguing grid that alluded to secret information and conversation. Its roots can be found in the sage Hebrew sages of antiquity, and there are rumors that the fabled Knights Templar secretly employed it during the Crusades. Even so, its security is still questionable and susceptible to those who know the secret of its symbolic language, despite how old it is. Its appeal as a cross-cultural symbol problem is highlighted by its appearance in both academic publications and children's stories. These mysterious symbols, laced into the fabric of time, are still unsafe, questionable, and susceptible to those who know the secret of its symbolic language, despite how old it is. The Pigpen cipher's age-old mystery continues to entice researchers and historians as they work to uncover its mystery. Number 6. Knights of the Round Table. There is a fascinating link between King Arthur and the Knights Templar that has just been uncovered from the archives of myth and legend. These famous people, immersed in legends of bravery and the search for holy artifacts, speak to people of all ages about a common search for important truths. According to Arthurian mythology, the Knights of the Round Table set out on dangerous quests to find the Holy Grail, a relic containing divine power. In the same way, the Templars entered the Holy Land with the intention of discovering relics that have mystical value. Both organizations shroud their linked destiny in mystery while embodying the heroism, nobility, and unwavering commitment of medieval chivalry. Legends imply the existence of Templars in places associated with Arthurian mythology, such as the mysterious grounds of Glastonbury, where stories whisper of the everlasting resting place of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere. Were the Templars motivated by King Arthur's brave warriors, or were old records an attempt to keep the truth from the public? Number 7. Pioneers of banking. With the papacy's approval, the Knights Templar emerged from shadowy beginnings to become the most powerful medieval order in history, a mysterious European superpower. Members, obligated by severe vows of poverty, secretly contributed their wealth to the organization, enhancing its funds by covert charity. Though they claimed to be simple, the Templars commanded a powerful global network and attracted aristocratic sponsors who trusted them with wealth and power during their long crusade journeys. By 1150, their goal had changed from merely safeguarding pilgrims to establishing a new financial frontier through the issuance of mysterious letters of credit. These intriguing devices, which were allegedly programmed with a secret code that resembled the mysterious Maltese cross, enabled pilgrims to safely store goods and withdraw money while traveling across dangerous terrain. The Templars skillfully negotiated religious restrictions against profiteering by turning property rights into financial power and avoiding interest bans. They built a vast economic empire by skillfully combining corporate expertise with generous giving. Their authority included vast areas of Middle Eastern and European territory, complex agricultural estates, formidable stone citadels, and even an entire island Cyprus, guaranteeing their reputation as mysterious masterminds of medieval finance and defenders of Christendom's untouchable wealth. Number 8. Black Madonna cult. Magnificent Gothic buildings honoring Mary Magdalene, the mysterious woman who accompanied the Virgin Mary, rose to popularity in Europe throughout the 12th and 13th centuries. From Chartres to Salisbury, these architectural wonders held mysterious Black Madonnas, ancient images steeped in mystical significance within their walls. There are perhaps 400–500 Black Madonnas in Europe, and they are surrounded by the mythology of mother gods such as Isis, whose worship extended from ancient Egypt across the Mediterranean to the borders of Gaul. These mystical pictures were probably brought to Europe by Phoenician traders, who were also the originators of alphabetic scripts and carriers of supernatural wisdom. Black Madonnas became more prevalent during the Crusades, and people like Bernard of Clairvaux worshipped them as representations of the wives of God. Ian Begg speculates that these icons might have their roots in secretive, spiritually mystic, esoteric traditions that were accepted by the Templars and Cathars. By connecting Black Madonnas to Mary Magdalene and suggesting that the mysterious Strong Queen may have been of Ethiopian heritage, Lynn Picknett creates a fascinating narrative that transcends both the material and spiritual worlds. Number 9. Connections with assassins. The Templar Knights and the Hashashin, or assassins, maneuvered over the complicated terrain of the Levant during the Crusades. They have a history of frequent conflict, but there are still tales circulating about possible covert alliances. As protectors of Christian travelers in the Holy Land, the Templars acquired enormous riches and influence. Leaders of the Crusader and Muslim communities were also at risk from the Hashashin, who were notorious for carrying out targeted killing. In the middle of the mayhem, rumors of occasional ceasefires or secret deals surface, suggesting secret cooperation. Stories of private talks in marketplaces and castles feed these legends, but actual proof of these coalitions is still hard to come by, buried under historical obscurity and the passage of time. Scholars and storytellers are still attracted by the mysterious relationship between the Templars and the Hashashin during this chaotic period of history, regardless of whether they had covert encounters or shared strategic aim. Number 10. Forbidden Scriptures. A fascinating question lies in the mysterious history of the Knights Templar, their claim that they protected texts that were outlawed and contradicted traditional church doctrine. The Templars were formerly modest monks who rose from humble beginnings to become influential characters in medieval Europe and the Holy Land. Their wealth and power gave rise to rumors of secret knowledge and covert activities. Stories say that among their wealth and sacred relic treasures were books the church had declared immoral. These so-called scriptures raised existential concerns and deviated from conventional wisdom, maybe with Gnostic or mystical elements. The mystery is further complicated by the Templars' spectacular defeat at the hands of France's King Philip II and Pope Clement V in the early 14th century. They were put on trial for suspected blasphemy and other offenses, and there were hints of well-held secrets. Details of these banned scriptures, however, are nonetheless unclear and cloaked in mystery and speculation despite their suppression. Were the Templars defenders of occult knowledge, opponents of religious rules, or actors in political games? Number 11. Naval Fleet. Famous for their skill on land, the Templars sailed into the murky waters of the Mediterranean on rented caravels and cogs, as recorded in the chronicles of medieval history. Shrouded in secrecy and decorated with the Templar cross, these ships discreetly sailed from busy ports such as Marseille and Barcelona, their true intentions unknown to everyone but speculators. At Damietta in 1217, Templar ships engaged in a dangerous game of cat and mouse with the Saracen defenses among the whirling currents of holy war. A brave galley carrying fearless knights attacked a stronghold tower, meeting with strong opposition and doing severe damage before vanishing into the mist and leaving a trail of mystery and bravery in its wake. But the real mystery of the Templars only became evident after the smoke of battle had cleared. Knights on a beaten ship, outnumbered and cornered, had to make a crucial decision. They chose a route shrouded in secrecy and sacrifice rather than give in to their enemies. They destroyed their own ship, sending it and its secrets to a watery burial, a monument to their unflinching resolve and the depths of their covert mission. Number 12. Templar Graves. In the quiet surroundings of a Staffordshire churchyard, a fascinating mystery emerges. Long-forgotten tombs, potentially serving as the final resting places of 8 hidden Templar knights from the 12th century, have been discovered in a find that echoes the intrigue of a Da Vinci Code-style discovery, according to historian Edward Spencer Dias. Situated in the churchyard of St. Mary's in Enville, a little distance west of Birmingham, these historic tombs display cryptic markings, a Templar cross within double circles that are characteristic of the closed order. The church itself, which Roger de Birmingham commissioned under the questionable Templars' patronage, provides intriguing hints about a time of covert pacts and rebellious intention. However, some academics, like Helen Nicholson, remain skeptical, stating that these graves cannot be conclusively connected to the Templars based only on symbols. These fascinating finds are clouded by uncertainty due to the variation in Templar cross patterns and the lack of recorded Templar possessions in Enville. With solid persistence, Dias's ongoing research, strengthened by fresh archaeological findings gathered from surveys carried out by John Chessel Buckler in the 1800s, promises to uncover more secrets buried in the Templars' enigmatic legacy. Number 13. Escape to Scotland. There are 2 groups of scholars at this point in Templar history. Following the conventional wisdom, one claims that the Templar Order was essentially wiped out in 1312 because there isn't any solid proof to the contrary. On the other hand, a more mysterious and creative narrative is more common outside of academia. Here, supporters contend that the Templars continued to function discreetly even after their formal death. Many works explore their unexplained disappearance, legendary wealth, and forbidden knowledge they were supposedly guarding. The idea that the Templars' apparent goal of defending pilgrims was a front for their real mission, the unearthing and safeguarding of age-old secrets concealed within Solomon's Temple, is at the heart of these hypotheses. The Templars' trials give rise to a well-known mythology about their lost treasure. Testifying on behalf of the Templars, Sergeant John of Chalon said that Gerard of Villiers managed to get away with 18 galleys full of their legendary wealth. The fleet's destination has been the subject of speculation for centuries. Exiled Scotsman George Frederick Johnson proposed in the 18th century that the Templars sailed to Scotland. Later legends centered them on the ethereal Isle of Mull. Alternatively, stories have it that Templars on the run took sanctuary in Scotland under Robert the Bruce, helping out at Bannockburn and allegedly hiding their enormous fortune at the mysterious Rosslyn Chapel. The Templars' appeal and mystery are sustained by these murmurs of unspoken truths and unspoken legacies. Number 14. Holy Relics. Saints and angels held great power within the Templar and Hospitaller clans' isolated shrines, their relics and iconography veiled in mystery and respect. Templar strongholds like Peniscola housed the remains of martyred saints, including St. Margaret and St. Mary Magdalene, who were highly revered. Beneath the shadows of medieval walls, decorated with captivating frescoes of St. Catherine and St. Barbara, painted by the knights but restored by succeeding custodians, their presence shouted of old wisdom and divine power. On the other hand, even though they existed, the attraction of military saints and martial spirits was insignificant. St. George was the only one who commanded complete devotion. His relics were kept in Templar sanctuaries such as the Grand Priory of Auvergne and the remote Hospitaller stronghold on Cyprus. Pilgrims seeking the defense and fortitude of this brave protector were stirred by these relics, which included pieces of his lance. These artifacts, which included pieces of his lance, aroused pilgrims who were hoping for this brave guardian's strength and protection. Templar chapels' elaborate brickwork and symbolic layout concealed their intended use, which was modeled after the mysterious Anastasis Rotunda of Jerusalem's Holy Sepulchre. Masses were said here, rituals were carried out, and relics were on display in the center of the rotunda, beckoning people to stroll in silent adoration. Number 15. Lost monasteries. Buried away on small Inner Temple Lane is a secret world, quiet and verdant, with Gothic and Victorian buildings mixed with charming courtyards and gardens. Much less well known to tourists than neighboring attractions like Trafalgar Square and St. Paul's Cathedral, this neighborhood is nonetheless known as Temple. However, Temple conceals a shocking secret: the mysterious Knights Templar, originally called Temple, their stronghold. These medieval warrior monks, known for their involvement in the Crusades and their enormous riches and prominence, lived, prayed, and plotted here from approximately 1185 until their cataclysmic disintegration in 1312. Though they have undergone numerous reconstruction, the monastery dining halls, dormitories, and chambers that the Templars created are today known as Middle Temple Hall and Inner Temple Hall. Temple Church, a reminder of the Templars' ongoing influence, is located in the center of this hidden realm. Number 16. Medical knowledge. Famous crusaders, the Knights Templar, were also gifted with profound and perplexing medical expertise. Numerous hospitals and infirmaries were established throughout the Holy Land as a result of their partnership with the Knights Hospitaller. These clinics, which served as living examples of medieval cleanliness, used cutting-edge surgical methods and herbal treatments to treat abscesses and set broken bones. Their medicinal practices were infused with spiritual rituals that summoned sacred relics thought to have curative properties. There are rumors about alchemical activities which combine science and mysticism in their search for longevity and health elixirs. The Templars brought old wisdom to Europe by gathering and translating medicinal writings from many cultures. Their network of hospices influenced upcoming hospitals and philanthropic organizations by setting the standard for medical treatment. There are several stories about the Templars' hidden medical expertise, which they are said to have uncovered in the mysterious East or inherited from ancient civilizations. Number 17. The Shinong parchment. A document buried in secrecy and debate for centuries is the Shinong parchment. Found in 2001 by Vatican archivist Barbara Frail, it provides new information on the mysterious Knights Templar. Contrary to what is often believed, it doesn't release them completely. The Templars faced financial collapse in 1307 when King Philip the Fair of France, in an attempt to capture their wealth, falsely accused them of heresy and other crime. He coerced them into making up confessions under torture and asked the Pope to sanction his behavior. Pope Clement V reluctantly complied under intense pressure, which resulted in cruel interrogations that lasted for 7 years. Grandmaster Jacques de Molay frequently changed his mind about his confessions, even in his darkest moments. But as heretics, he and fellow Templars were executed by burning at the stake in 1314. The Shinong parchment exposes the guilt and pressure of the Pope in the persecution of the Templars. Although it clears them of heresy, it condemns them on other grounds, implying that their supposed head worship was a form of respect for Jesus and alluded to covert activities like spitting on the cross. Number 18. Martyrdom and revenge. Had the French king, Philip IV, who had destroyed the Knights Templar order in 1307, been the target of some terrible vengeance from the Knights Templar? This fascinating subject is brought up by the mutilation of Philip's remains decades later. Was this the Templar curse coming true because his skeleton was handled like trash? Recently visited the Basilica of Saint-Denis, an ancient church that is oddly situated in a shopping center from the 1970s on the outskirts of Paris. The tombs of all the French kings and queens were located at this historic site, which also housed the bones of Philip IV, dubbed the Fair. However, he was not fair to the Templars. In 1314, he destroyed them by taking their possessions and setting their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, on fire. Remarkably, the Parisian mob dug up Philip's remains and those of other monarchs during the French Revolution 450 years after his death and threw them into a single grave. This horrific deed was part of an attempt to destroy the remnants of the previous government, destroying the centuries-old royal tombs at Saint-Denis. Was this brutal destruction just a coincidence? Or was it the last ghostly chuckle of the Templars extending from the afterlife? The mystery remains unsolved. Number 19. Esoteric architecture. The architectural wonders of the Templar Knights, known for their mystical and esoteric symbolism, have left an enduring legacy. Their religious and combative endeavors are embodied in the 12th century London Temple Church. Its circular nave, which mimics the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem's holy geometry, is decorated with elaborate patterns that are thought to hold important spiritual lessons. Templar commanderies and fortifications were bastions where esoteric knowledge and fighting skills met throughout Europe. These buildings, protected from outsiders by defensive walls, also held magical and age-old knowledge. Templar architecture is still a mysterious reminder of their clever strategic planning and mystical mindset. Every building, from the complex architecture of the Temple Church to the defensive commanderies seen throughout Europe, suggests a dual function: military fortifications linked with spiritual symbolism. Number 20. Alchemy. Known for their ability to protect the Holy Land with their weapons, the Knights Templar also had a little-known passion for alchemy. For them, alchemy represented a profound spiritual journey rather than just a quest for metals that could be transmuted. It stood for the soul's purification, similar to the process of turning base metals into pure materials. Secret alchemical laboratories were set up at Templar preceptories located throughout Europe and the Holy Land. Here, they examined ancient works on metallurgy and natural philosophy and dug into strange mixtures. The Templars combined Eastern and Western esoteric traditions under one banner, influenced by their interactions with Sufi mystics and Arabic alchemists during the Crusades. The Templars were accused of treason, yet their alchemical endeavors were based on Catholic doctrine, which placed an enormous value on divine grace and spiritual cleansing. There are still arguments about their supposed worship of Baphomet, which are frequently written off as inquisitors' attempts to find blasphemy. However, the Templars' fascination with alchemy persisted until it was suppressed, leaving a legacy that impacted subsequent explorers of the unknown. And there you have it. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep checking back for further research into fascinating historical mysteries.